Now, I know I've been gone for about a month or two, but I'm back. And I will be posting more frequently, not really gonna give a date, mostly because I don't wanna, put myself on, spot or anything. But I am sorry for the wait. I will now be on a somewhat consistent schedule to not limit myself and stuff. Now, onto the theory. All the times I've rewatched Murder Drones, I always try to note things down that may be an interesting theory, like, for example, the Spire theory. That theory was made because I questioned why the Spire was even there. And one thing that kept on popping up in the episodes is mirrors. Throughout the episodes, there's been this weird thing where Uzi looks at a mirror and then shatters it unintentionally. And just why? It's become such a weird thing that I decided to look into it, and I noticed that Uzi isn't the only one with this. Apparently Doll has the same problem, as in episode 3 we see in Doll's bathtub there are a bunch of bloodied and shattered mirrors, which seems like it's hinting at the Solver drones having a weird connection with mirrors. After this discovery, I've been looking for mirrors in every scene, and then I remember that there is actually quite a few mirrors in episode 5. This is where it starts to get interesting. In the basement, this Solver camera, as I'm calling it, is coming out of a fucking mirror. So to figure out what the fuck is going on there, I looked in all the basement scenes and also noticed that a Solver claw and tentacle were coming out of a dead drone in a fish tank. And the weirdest detail in the basement is actually the writing on the walls, which look like mathematical equations, at least from what I can understand. What could this mean, you may ask? Well, it might mean that every time Sin was put into her basement timeout, air quotes, she may have been trying to find a way for the Absolute Solver to enter our universe or dimension. And some people may not know, but Sin is related to the Absolute Solver because she was revived by the Absolute Solver in this scene. And when she was revived, on her face screen, whatever you call it, you can see the Absolute Solver is having a conversation with Sin. And we can't entirely read what's going on there, but here's what we can read. Absolute Solver says, quote, "Hello, I see we're blank. I see we're blank. I see we could blank for you. I will not discard you. I see you will be here for blank." And it asks for access or system access, and Sin can pick yes or no. But we all know she picked yes. And Sin might be helping Absolute Solver to break into our universe. And she seems to actually have pulled it off, considering there is a Solver camera coming out of a mirror. You might be asking, how does this affect Murder Drones' story? Well, this means, if I am right at least, that we know how the Absolute Solver directly came into our universe. I do think Sin didn't just end at bringing the Absolute Solver into our world. I think she kind of upgraded it in a way. Let me explain. So every time I look at Eldritch J or Sin, one thing that kept bugging me is, why do they have so many different limbs? Like a claw, a tentacle, a camera, and more. And for an Eldritchian horror, you'd think it wouldn't have a camera. I do have an interesting theory about this. a pretty out there theory, you could say. As we see in the basement, there are many different details, but the things that caught my eye were the biological disassembly drone parts, and the tentacle and claw coming out of the dead drone in a fish tank. And yes, that is a sentence I just said. Very weird details. But what if Sin was adding these limbs from animals? Now, yes, that does sound very out there, but just hear me out, okay? I find it very weird how this eldritch horror is part crab, part squid. Okay, for the squid part, that's possible, maybe, I don't know. Part camera, part snake, part human, and part drone. Maybe what happened is Sin is feeding the Absolute Silver certain animals to gain certain physical parts of them. And we know what Eldritch J is made up of. If you don't believe me, take N's word for it.
Jay went hollow spooky snake crab, and we maybe grew up in a haunted mansion!
So we can assume that Sin added a crab and a squid of some sort to the Absolute Silver, since she has a fish tank. And it always has weirded me out that the disassembly drones once had biological wings. Oh, look, a bird cage in the basement. And Eldritch J has human hands. Remember that? Well, to be honest, there were a lot of humans in the Elliott Manor. So you can understand what I'm saying. So, what the fuck did this mean for our heroes? Well, it may benefit them in trying to find a way to defeat the Absolute Silver. See, if we know how the Absolute Silver entered into our universe, that means we can find a way to kick it the fuck out. Plus, this may give us more information about the Absolute Silver we don't already know. And for the whole limb theory, I guess you could call it, that could also be useful information. Because if I'm right, that means the Absolute Silver consumes and uses animals' body parts to its advantage to make itself more powerful. Though I wonder to what extent can the Absolute Silver gain in power? Guess that is a question for another day. That is all today, beautiful viewer. If you'd like to support me, don't go to my Patreon, because I don't have a fucking Patreon. But I do stream on Twitch. Sometimes. Bye. Like, for example, the spire theory. That was from me questioning why the spires were even there. And one thing that kept popping up throughout the show is mirrors. Throughout mirrors. Throughout mirrors, why? Now, I know I've been gone for about a month or two, but I'm back, and I will be posting a video wait, I've been gone for about 3 months. What am I oh my god. I forgot to write that out of the script. Oh no, it's gonna make it into the final you know what, whatever, I'm gonna let it go into the final product. Now, I know I've been gone for about a month or two, but I'm back. And I will be posting a video once a week. Wait, what? Okay, I'm not doing that. I thought I wrote this out of the script. Okay, there we go, I already fucked up. And we see in Doll's bathtub that there are a bunch of bloody and shattered mirrors, which seems, oh god, maybe I can recover this. Which seems like it's hinting at the Silver drones having a weird connection with mirrors. After this interesting discovery, I've been looking for mirrors in every scene, and I remember that there's actually quite a few mirrors in episode 6. Episode 5, not 6. Oh my god. Well, I recovered it alright. I absolutely destroyed it.